Chapter 10, Section 3, Misleading Graphs and Statistics. Let's look at the real world link. It says the Stanley Cup is awarded annually to the champion team in the National Hockey League. The graph shows the total number of points scored in the Stanley Cup playoff games by 3 players during their careers. According to the size of the players, how many times more points does this player appear to have than this player? Well, if we look at those 2 players in the graph, this player appears to be twice as big as that player, so 2 times as many points, just by looking at the size of the player. Do you think this is representative of the player's number of points? Well, if we look, this player got about 280 points, and this player got about 230. Well, 280 is not double 230, so no. That's the answer I would put there. And then I said this player did not score double the points of the other player. So no, this is not representative. Question number 3 says, what reason could someone have for intentionally creating a misleading Stanley Cup graph? Well, maybe this graph is from the Gretzky team, and they want the viewers of this graph to think that Gretzky is way better than his opponents. So that's one possible reason why they would have used a misleading graph here. Let's look at identify a misleading graph. It says graphs let readers analyze data easily, but are sometimes made to influence conclusions by misrepresenting the data. Example 1, we have graph A and graph B. The graphs show the same data. However, the graphs differ in that graph A uses an interval of 4, so it's going up by $4 in each level, and graph B is using an interval of $2. Which graph appears to show a sharper increase in price? Well, this graph appears to be a little bit more flat, while this graph appears to be going up faster. So graph B makes it appear that the prices increase more rapidly, even though the price increase is the same. Second question says, which graph might the student council use to show that while ticket prices have risen, the increase is not significant? They might use graph A, the scale used on the vertical axis, so the dollars going up, of this graph makes the increase appear less significant. So if they're trying to say that the ticket price hasn't gone up that much, they would use this graph because it doesn't appear to go up as fast as it does in this graph. Let's look at example 1. It says the line graphs show the sales for a local bakery. Which graph makes it appear that the sales declined only slightly? Well, graph A makes it appear that the sales declined only slightly. Is this a valid conclusion? Explain. Well, we dropped from about 1,000 to about 800. So 800 over 1,000. So we dropped $200 out of 1,000 is where we started. Well, that's the same as 2 over 10, which is the same as 20%. So a 20% decrease, I would say, is more than slight. That's a pretty significant decrease. So I would say that this conclusion is not valid. The sales decreased significantly, 20%. Let's look at got it A. Go ahead and try got it A and then resume this video when you are done. Got it A says the line graphs show monthly profits of a company from October to March. Which graph suggests that the business is extremely profitable? That would be the first graph. So the first graph suggests suggests that the business is extremely profitable. It says, is this a valid conclusion? Explain. Well, the business from October to March just went from $14,000 profit to $15,400 in profit, which is an increase of only $1,400. So it only increased by $1,400 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. That's only an increase of $280 per month. When we have a profit of $14,000, that is not as significant as this graph makes it look. So I would say that this is not a valid conclusion. The business is only increasing profits by $280 per month. Let's look at the next section, misleading statistics. It says statistics can also be used to influence conclusions. If we look at example 2, it says an amusement park boasts that the average height of their roller coasters is 170 feet. Explain how this might be misleading. Well, as we look at the numbers here, most roller coasters are under 200 feet, and in fact are less than 150 feet. But the one that brings the average up is the Tornado, which has a height of 365 feet. So if we calculate the mean, median, and mode, well, the mean is the average. We add it all up and divide it by how many there are, is 170. However, the median is 126, the number that's in the middle when you put them from least to greatest. And that number is closer to the height of most of the roller coasters. So what they said is the average used by the park was the mean. The measure is much greater than most of the heights listed because of the coaster that is 365 feet. So it is misleading to use this measure to attract visitors. A more appropriate measure to describe the data is the median, 126 feet, which is closer to the height of most of the coasters. Let's look at example 2. It says Michael and Melissa both claim to be earning a C average, 70% to 79% in their Latin class. One student is wrong. Which one? Explain how he or she is using a misleading statistic. Well, down here we have some information. We could see the mean and median for both of these students, and it appears that Michael does have a 70% median, right? The number in the middle is 70 for both of these students. However, his average or his mean is only 53.4%. So it says one student is wrong. We'll say Michael is wrong. Explain how he or she is using a misleading statistic. Michael's median score is 70%. However, his mean is only 53.4%. The mean would be the appropriate statistic to use in this scenario. Go ahead and try got at B and then resume this video when you are done. Got at B says find the mean, median, and mode of the sofa prices shown in the table. Which measurement might be misleading in describing the average cost of a sofa? So the mean is where you add it all up and divide by how many there are. So we have a $1,700 leather sofa, a $1,400 reclining sofa, a $350 do-it-yourself assembly sofa, a $1,600 sectional, and a $1,400 microfiber. And if we add all those up, we want to divide that number by 5 because that's how many items there are total. So our mean is $1,290. Now, if we put these numbers in order from least to greatest, 350 is the least. The next number would be the 1,400. We have 2 of those. And then 1,600, and then 1,700. So the number in the middle would be the 1,400. That's our median. And the mode is the number that appears the most often. Well, the only number that's in here 2 times is 1,400. So the mode is also 1,400. It says, which measurement might be misleading in describing the average cost of a sofa? Well, probably the mean, because the mean is being weighed down so heavily by the do-it-yourself, where most of these items are $1,400 or more. It would be misleading to say that the average is 1,290. So we will say the mean might be misleading in describing the average cost of the sofa. Because of the $350 sofa that is significantly cheaper than the rest.